The Gaming Commission, and I have the distinct pleasure of calling this meeting to order. Mr. Small, how about a couple of introductions and perhaps then a roll call?
Excellent. Well, you've already introduced yourself, but everybody, we have a new face here up front. We have a new chairman. I'd like to introduce Milton O. Thompson of Indianapolis. He's an attorney and of counsel with the law firm Leek, Dillon, Crandall. Mr. Thompson is president and CEO of sports, entertainment, and recreation management consulting firm Brand Slam. Mr. Thompson has a history of civic and community involvement, such as Play Ball Indiana, board member of the Indianapolis Indians Baseball Club, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Indiana, Central Indiana Community Foundation, Indianapolis Foundation, Indiana University School of Law Board Visitors, Pan American Games General Counsel, Indiana Sports Corporation Vice President, Indianapolis Capital Improvement Board, Tourism Tomorrow Board of Visit Indy, Indianapolis Bond Bank, and Hoosier Lottery Commission. Mr. Thompson currently serves on the English Foundation and is the Vice Chairman for the Crown Hill Board of Managers and Foundation. Mr. Thompson graduated from Wittenberg University with the BA and from Indiana University School of Law, Bloomington. Mr. Thompson was appointed to the commission in April of 2022. Welcome aboard, Mr. Chairman.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the invitation. Just a couple of minutes of personal privilege before, and by the way, you read that very well. Just perhaps how I prepared it, or had someone else prepared it. I want to first thank the governor for relying upon me. This is my first commission meeting here with the Gaming Commission, but it's not my first rodeo, as you can probably tell from an introduction. I've had the opportunity to chair all kinds of meetings and commission meetings, what have you. When asked for the call, I think it was more like being drafted instead of being, that's what I'd like to continue in service. But once we made that decision, I want to give a high sign of kudos to past chairman Michael Maines. He was very instrumental in making this a seamless transition for me, and I also wanted to thank the current commissioners as well as the current senior staff management, as they have been very meticulously onboarding me, notwithstanding some of my long trips around the world. Just recently got back from Dubai and then Tanzania, and a little bit jet lagged, but they rescued me and said, we've got business to take care of. So they've continued to meet with me as a group as well as individually so that we might be able to conduct the state's business here at the Gaming Commission. With that, I will call for approval of the minutes.
Roll call real quick.
Roll call, I'm sorry. Yes, roll call, please.
Chairman Thompson.
Here.
Vice Chair Fine. Here. Secretary Dudich. Here. Commissioner Williams.
Here.
Let the record reflect that we have a quorum with Vice Chair Fine participating via telephone.
Which means when I quorum, we have to have 3 present in person and at least one more commissioner that should be available telephonically. And thank you for Vice Chairman Fine for making yourself available for today's quorum. Now I think we'll call for an approval of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I move the approval of the March 8th, 2020 meeting minutes.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second for approval of the minutes. Any discussion? Modifications or changes? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of the minutes, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Now, Mr. Small, would you mind giving us a executive director's report?
Absolutely. I'd like to start off with a few staff updates. Central Office has had a few new hires. If we could have Sean Shields please stand. Sean is our newest field auditor. Sean has been a dedicated public servant for the state of Indiana for almost 12 years. His most recent work experience was as a field contract compliance auditor for the Department of Child Services. Sean obtained his bachelor's in business administration from Indiana State University and recently completed a professional certificate accounting from Indiana Tech. Welcome aboard, Sean. Next up, if we could have Angelica Violi, please stand. Angelica is the IGC's newest staff attorney. Angelica earned her undergraduate degree from Indiana University and her law degree from Valparaiso University School of Law. She is also currently working on obtaining a master's degree in library and computer science at IUPUI. Angelica has previously worked at the Indiana Department of Child Services as a staff attorney, the Office of the Indiana Attorney General as a Deputy Attorney General, and most recently at PricewaterhouseCoopers, Legility and Knowledgeable as a document review attorney. Welcome aboard. Next, if we could have Carmen Steedham please stand up. Carmen is the IGC's newest Director of Human Resources for Law Enforcement Executive Administrator. Carmen has over a decade of experience in human resources, including 7 years with the state of Indiana. The IGC recruited Carmen from state personnel, where she most recently served as Human Resources Director for a number of agencies. Carmen holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Human Resource Management from Kelley School of Business and a professional certification from the Society for Human Resource Management. Our Investigations Division has completed reinvestigations for the following licensees: House Advantage and American Gaming Systems LLC. The confidential reports, Commissioners, are in your materials. Directors Brown and Leak are also present should you have any additional questions. The IGC has added 18 individuals to the statewide exclusion list since the March 8, 2022 meeting. The total number of individuals on the list is now 933. And finally, the IGC has granted 14 waivers to Indiana casinos since the previous meeting. This information is included in your materials and will be posted to the Commission's website. That concludes my report.
Are there any presenters today that require administration of the oath?
If you plan on presenting before the Commission, would you please stand and raise your right hand? And at the conclusion, remain standing so I can get your name for the record. I, please state your name,
I, Angela Button,
do hereby solemnly swear,
do hereby solemnly swear,
subject to the penalties of perjury,
subject to the penalties of perjury,
to tell the truth,
to tell the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth,
and nothing but the truth.
so help me God.
So help me God. Angela M. Button.
Alex Dudley. Chris Neal.
Danielle Leak.
Is that everyone? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Director. I'd like to call and see if any commissioners have any old business. Any old business? No old business. Hearing none, we'll move on to new business. Any new business that you'd like to bring to our attention? Hearing none, we'll move on to our patrons. Alex Dudley, please.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioners. You have before you orders 2022-56 through 60 concerning the petitions for removal from the exclusion list of Floyd Weddle, John Jablonski, Patricia Strickland, Wanda Adams, and Trent Cobb. Petitioners have been placed on the exclusion list for over 3 years and have petitioned to be removed from the exclusion list. Telephonic hearings were conducted at which each provided support for their petitions. Based on totality of the factors relevant in these matters, the reviewing officer has concluded that Weddle, Jablonski, Strickland, and Adams have met the standard of clear and convincing evidence as reflected in the staff's findings of fact and recommendation. Adopting staff's findings and recommendations would have the effect of granting petitioners' petitions for removal from the statewide exclusion list. Based on the totality of the factors relevant in these matters, however, the reviewing officer has concluded that Cobb has failed to meet the standard of clear and convincing evidence as reflected in staff's findings of fact and recommendation. Adopting staff's findings and recommendations would have the effect of denying Cobb's petition for removal from the exclusion list. That's all.
Hearing those removals, is there a motion to approve these orders, 2022-56 through 2022-60?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approval of the motion for the orders 2022 through 56 through 2022-60, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. License renewals. Mr. Neal.
Good afternoon, Chairman, Commissioners. Before you, you have Order 2022-61.
pursuant to Indiana Code Section 433.7.8 and 68 IAC Section 2-2-8. A supplier's license must be renewed each year along with the payment of a $7,500 renewal fee. Each of the following licensees has submitted a timely request for renewal along with the required payment. Surveillance System Integration, Power Strategies LLC, Bally's Interactive LLC, White Hat Gaming, Konami Gaming Incorporated, Mosk Publishing Incorporated, Every Payments Incorporated, Ainsworth Game Technology, United States Playing Card Company, House Advantage LLC, Novomatic America Sales LLC, NRT Technology Corporation, Pala Interactive, VICI Properties Incorporated, Canby, and GeoComply Solutions Incorporated. Approving Order 2022-61 would have the effect of renewing the license of each of the respective licensees for a period of 1 year. Thank you. And for casino renewals, Commissioners, next on the agenda, you have before you Orders 2022-62, 2022-63, and 2022-64 regarding the renewal of Ameristar, Hard Rock Northern Indiana, and Horseshoe Hammond's casino owners' license renewals, respectively. Ameristar, Hard Rock Northern Indiana, and Horseshoe Hammond have all filed the proper paperwork and paid their renewal fee. Previously, by Orders 2021-10, 2021-123, and 2021-73, the Commission had approved the written power of attorneys for Ameristar, Hard Rock Northern Indiana, and Horseshoe Hammond, respectively. These approvals expire upon the renewal of the casino owner's license, and for that reason, all casinos must request renewal of the Commission's approval of the written power of attorney concurrently with the request for renewal, or present the Commission with a new written power of attorney naming a new trustee and waiving. Ameristar, Hard Rock Northern Indiana, and Horseshoe Hammond have all stated their intent to maintain their existing trustees in waiting and have not presented the Commission with any modifications to their power of attorney. Approving Orders 2022-62, 2022-63, and 2022-64 would have the effect of renewing the license and approving the power of attorneys for Ameristar, Hard Rock Northern Indiana, and Horseshoe Hammond for a period of 1 year. Thank you. And then next, you have before you Order 2022-65, pursuant to Indiana Code Section 4-38-6-6, a vendor's license must be renewed each year along with the payment of a $50,000 renewal fee. Each of the following licensees has submitted a timely request for renewal along with the required payment. That would be Penn Sports Interactive and Digital Gaming Corporation doing business as Betway. Approving Order 2022-65 would have the effect of renewing the license of each of the respective licensees for a period of 1 year. Again, thank you. And then next and finally, you have before you Order 2022-66, pursuant to Indiana Code Section 4-33-24-15 and 68 IIC Section 26-3-10. A paid fantasy sports operator license must be renewed each year along with the payment of a $5,000 renewal fee. Each of the following certificate holders has submitted a timely request for renewal along with the required payment. That includes DraftKings Incorporated, Fantasy Draft LLC, and FanDuel Incorporated. Approving Order 2022-66 would have the effect of renewing the license of the respective licensees for a period of 1 year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Neal. Motion to approve Orders 2022-61 through 2022-66. Do I hear a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Fine, did we hear your vote? Oh. Yes, are there any further discussion items under those orders? Hearing no discussion, now I will call for approval of Orders 2022-61 through 2022-66. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye, please.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. The motion carries. Thank you, sir. Daniel Lee, be prepared to give us permanent licenses and suppliers.
Good afternoon, Commissioners and Executive Staff. Order 2022-67 will approve the permanent supplier license for Acres Manufacturing. Acres Manufacturing designs, manufactures, sells, and supports hardware and software systems that relate to player tracking and machine payouts. Acres Manufacturing and its key persons have submitted the required applications and received temporary licenses issued by the IGC. Commission staff conducted a background and financial investigation on the company, along with its substantial owners and key persons. We have found no material derogatory information that would affect suitability for the applicant. Staff's final report has been provided in the confidential commission meeting documents. Approving Order 2022-67 will grant the permanent license to Acres Manufacturing, subject to yearly annual renewal. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions of the commissioners? Then a motion to approve orders 2022-67, please.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? During discussion, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the order 2022-67, please signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. Thank you. Aye is aye. Make sure we keep our quorum in line. Ms. Button? Disciplinary actions.
Good afternoon, Commissioners and Executive Staff. You have before you 6 settlement agreements concerning disciplinary actions against licensed suppliers, 12 settlement agreements concerning disciplinary action against casinos, 1 settlement agreement concerning disciplinary action against corporate, and 13 settlement agreements concerning disciplinary actions against sports wagering operators. Order 2022-69 is a settlement agreement with American Gaming Systems, including 2 counts totaling $2,000. Order 2022-70 is a settlement agreement with Aristocrat Technologies, totaling $3,000. Order 2022-71 is a settlement agreement with GAN UK Limited, including 2 counts totaling $4,500. Order 2022-72 is a settlement agreement with IGT, totaling $1,500. Order 2022-73 is a settlement agreement with NRT Technology Corporation, including 3 counts totaling $4,000. Order 2022-74 is a settlement agreement with Palette Interactive, including 2 counts totaling $2,500. Order 2022-75 is a settlement agreement with Ameristar East Chicago, including 6 counts totaling $12,500. Order 2022-76 is a settlement agreement with Bally's Evansville, including 6 counts totaling $13,000. Order 2022-77 is a settlement agreement with Belterra Casino, including 3 counts totaling $8,500. Order 2022-78 is a settlement agreement with Blue Chip Casino, including 4 counts totaling $11,500. Order 2022-79 is a settlement agreement with Caesar Southern Indiana, including 9 counts totaling $87,000 and a corrective action plan. Order 2022-80 is a settlement agreement with French Lick Resort Casino, including 5 counts totaling $19,000. Order 2022-81 is a settlement agreement with Hard Rock Northern Indiana, including 4 counts totaling $47,500. Order 2022-82 is a settlement agreement with Harris Hoosier Park, including 4 counts totaling $20,000. Order 2022-83 is a settlement agreement with Hollywood Casino, including 4 counts totaling $24,000. Order 2022-84 is a settlement agreement with Horseshoe Hammond, including 5 counts totaling $17,000. Order 2022-85 is a settlement agreement with Horseshoe Indianapolis, including 8 counts totaling $130,725 and a corrective action plan. Order 2022-86 is a settlement agreement with Rising Star Casino, including 3 counts totaling $12,000. Order 2022-87 is a settlement agreement with Seminole Hard Rock International, totaling $4,000. Order 2022-88 is a settlement agreement with Bally's Interactive, doing business as Bally Bet, totaling $1,500. Order 2022-89 is a settlement agreement with Digital Gaming Corporation, doing business as Betway, including 3 counts, totaling $6,000. Order 2022-90 is a settlement agreement with American Wagering, doing business as Caesar Sportsbook, including 2 counts, totaling $5,500. Order 2022-91 is a settlement agreement with Churchill Downs Interactive Gaming, doing business as Twin Spires, totaling $3,500. Order 2022-92 is a settlement agreement with Betfair Interactive, doing business as FanDuel Sportsbook, including 3 counts, totaling $6,000. Order 2022-93 is a settlement agreement with Caesars Race and Sportsbook Clarksville totaling $4,500. Order 2022-94 is a settlement agreement with Penn Sports Interactive doing business as Barstool Sportsbook, including 3 counts totaling $2,500. Order 2022-95 is a settlement agreement with PointsBet totaling $2,000. Order 2022-96 is a settlement agreement with BetMGM doing business as Roar Digital, including 2 counts totaling $11,750. Order 2022-97 is a settlement agreement with Smarkets Holdings doing business as SBK Indiana, including 2 counts totaling $2,500. Order 2022-98 is a settlement agreement with Score Digital Sports Ventures doing business as The Score, including 2 counts totaling $2,000. Order 2022-99 is a settlement agreement with Crown Indiana Gaming doing business as DraftKings, including 2 counts totaling $2,000. Order 2022-100 is a settlement agreement with WSI US doing business as WinBet, including 3 counts totaling $6,500. Relevant details for each settlement agreement have been provided in your meeting materials. Details on the settlement agreements will also be available on the Commission's website following the meeting. Mr. Chair, this concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Commissioner. Do you have any questions for Ms. Benton? Questions? Then I will call for a motion to approve orders 2022-69 through 2022-100.
So moved. Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approval of the motion of orders 2022-69 through 2022-100, please signify by stating aye.
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 The ayes have it, the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Neal?
Good afternoon again, everyone. Now you have before you orders 2022-101 through 2022-110. Orders 2022-101 through 110 concern applications for an occupational license to work for an Indiana licensee. With regard to these orders, the applicants failed to disclose their complete criminal history, and therefore they have failed to meet the established standards for licensure. The applicants were all given an opportunity to withdraw their applications from consideration, but they all failed to do so. Detailed information regarding these orders is contained in your confidential commission materials, and approving the orders of 2022-101 through 2022-110 would have the effect of denying these applications. And also before you, you have orders 2022-111 through 2022-123, and orders 2022-111 through 123 concern settlement agreements between the commission staff and occupational licensees. In lieu of disciplinary action, commission staff offered each of these licensees a settlement agreement that would have them agree to an unpaid voluntary relinquishment of their occupational license for a period of regular scheduled working days with no vacation or other paid time off to be used. Each of these licensees has agreed to the terms of the settlement agreements, and detailed information regarding each of these matters is contained in the confidential materials that have been provided to you guys. And so, that's my page. Approving orders 2022-111 through 123 would have the effect of ratifying these settlement agreements with the occupational licensees.
Any questions, Commissioners, of Mr. Neal? Hearing none, thank you. I will now call for a motion to approve orders 2022-101 through 2022-123.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor of approval of orders 2022-101 through 2022-123, please signify by stating aye.
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 The ayes have it, the motion carries. Thank you,
So, thank you.
sir. Mr. Dudley? Casino matters.
Commissioners, you now have before you orders 2022-124 and 125 concerning requests received from casino licensees Churchill Downs and Penn National Gaming, whereby they request approval of proposed financial transactions. In addition to seeking permission to act on the proposed financial transactions, casino licensees also requested a waiver of 68 IAC's so-called two-meeting requirement in accordance with the Commission's authority retained in Resolution 2017-109. The confidential details of the proposed financial transactions as well as the commission staff's analysis were provided to the commissioners in their confidential materials. In accordance with the procedures identified in Resolution 2017-109, the casino licensees were issued an interim approval for their proposed financial transactions. The interim approval contained the following conditions. First, the terms articulated in the final financing documentation do not materially differ from the terms that were presented in the written approval. Second, the terms of the final documentation do not violate IC 4-33 or 4-35. Third, each casino licensee must provide the commission with a legal opinion demonstrating compliance with IC 4-33 and 4-35. And finally, the casino licensees must close on their respective financing transaction by the certain dates. Resolution 2017-109 requires that any interim financing approval that is issued must be reported to the commission for consideration and final ratification or other direction. Thank you.
Commissioner, do you have any questions, Mr. Dudley? No questions? I will now accept the motion to approve order 2022-124 and 2022-125.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask for a vote on the motion. All those in favor of the motion 2022-124 through 2022-125 signify by stating aye.
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 The ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you. Anything else from any members of the staff or commissioners? Have any parting shots for today? Well, I won't go ahead.
If I can, Mr. Chairman, I just want to say that while this is your first meeting, you get run very expeditiously, much faster than generally been. So
That's my promise.
We welcome that and are looking forward to very quick meetings and all due respect to gentlemen lanes. You run very quickly. Thank you, sir.
Staff, any other parting shots or discussion items from you? If that is true, we will call for an adjournment and we'll see if we can set our next meeting thereafter. All those in favor of the motion to adjourn, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned.